Hey guys, and welcome back to Can Code. Today I'm going to add a couple of minor features to this shooter game that we're working on, and then I'm going to make a shop. So hopefully you'll learn a lot from this video. The first thing that I'm going to do is in the player sprite, so make sure you go there. And what the thing is that I'm going to do is I'm going to make it so that we can use the up arrow, down arrow, all the arrow keys, or we can use the WASD keys, which is something that I'd probably rather use because it's easier to use while you have your hand on your mouse. So the way to make this work is we're going to have the up arrow, which is also W, and we're going to go to operators, and we're going to drag out an OR block. This OR block will allow us, whoops, not there. This OR block will allow us to use the up arrow key, or then we can put the W key, we can switch this to W, and put that in the other side of the OR. Now we will be able to use the up arrow or the W key. Now we can switch this to all of them, so we can use the W key for up arrow, or we could use the S key for the down arrow. So we're going to grab another OR, the S key or the down arrow, and then we're going to do the same for the right arrow and the left arrow. The right arrow will be D, and the left arrow will be A. Now, when we play the game, we can use the WASD keys as well as the arrow keys. That's great. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is in this game, when you die, the game just automatically stops. What I'm going to add is something that when you die, the menu comes back on instead of just stopping the game. So in the stage here, we had some code that just stopped the game when the game ended, so we can get rid of that. Now let's go to the menu background. This we want to come back on when the game ends. So we can just duplicate this, select this, and press endgame. So when the game ends, we're going to repeat 5, change the X by 100. Now we also don't want it to hide, we want it to show. So in looks, there's a show, which we can put right before. Now if we try this, you will see that it does not work. It just whizzes by at first. So how do we fix this? Well, the first reason why this is happening is because in the life bar sprite, we have if the player lives is less than 1, then end the game. Then it goes back through the forever loop, and it says, oh, it's still less than 1, so end the game again. And it's just continuing to end the game many times. If the game ends, we want to stop the script, so grab the stop all button from the control tab, and then we're going to change it to this script. Now when we do this again, you'll realize it still does not work. This time it's going a little bit further than it's supposed to. And here's why. Here we have it repeating 5 times to change the X by minus 100. Now, if you realize from the last video, if we make this go to minus 9999999, the farthest it can go back is 468. Now, if we go minus 100 5 times, we're going to minus 500, which this cannot even go to. So it just goes to minus 468. Now, when the game ends, it goes 500 forward. Now, not only does that cancel out the 468, it actually leaves a little bit extra, and that's why it was going a little bit past where it was supposed to. So what we can do to change this is just change these to 4 so that it only goes to minus 400. It won't look quite as clean, but it will be hardly noticeable. Now when we play, it goes back on perfectly, but the play button still does not work. So how do we fix that? Well, we want that when the game ends, we want to switch the costume to play button, and then create a clone of myself, and it will just come back on the screen. Now when we play, it goes back on perfectly. Now if we press play after dying, we have quite the amount of enemies coming at us, don't we? To fix this, we need to go to the bullet and the enemy sprite, and we need to add, when I receive endgame, it needs to stop all the other scripts in the sprite, and then it needs to delete all the clones in the sprite. Now we can just copy this over to the enemies, and then, let's try this again. Now when we press play, it works perfectly fine. Okay, so now let's quickly make a shop. So we're not really going to make much of a shop, but just we're going to add a button at least. So we have the first button that the play button comes on, but we also want a shop button to come on. So let's start by making a shop button. Okay, now we have a shop button. Now what we're going to do is we're going to program it into the code. So we're going to switch the costume to play button, and then we want to switch it to shop button. And we want to do the same thing over here when the game is ended. Now we have if the costume number is 1, which is the play button, it's going to do all this, but now we also want to add another one afterwards to say if it's equal to 2, which is the shop button. For the shop button, we want it to go to this X position, but the Y position, we want a little bit lower. Let's see how much lower we want. 100 is... That's not what we wanted. Oh, let's try 80. Okay, that's the hidden one, so... We'll go to... 50... 0... 20... 20 is fine. So let's hide this back again. Okay, so we will go to the Y of 20. Now we want this to happen, but I'm going to have it happen a little bit later. So it kind of looks like the play button comes on and then the shop button comes on. We will wait maybe 0.025. Let's do that. Seconds. And then that'll come up. Now if it's clicked, we're not going to broadcast play, we're going to broadcast shop. So now let's start this and see what happens. Okay, so 0.25 is probably a little bit too much. Let's go 0.1. That looks pretty good, but I'm going to go 0.08. That looks good. Except I'm going to have it so that it hides before it starts going. So it's going to hide here, and then it's going to show here. That looks really nice. Okay. So, you can click both of these. This one can go, and then this one will go. So, now if we play, the shop button does not go. So, let's fix this. So, it's going to disappear after it is clicked. The shop button is going to. But we also want it to disappear if we receive play. So, when I receive play, we want it to all go away. Oh my goodness, that rhymes. Okay, so we want it to all go away by moving off to the side. So we're going to broadcast play here. And let's see, I don't know how long it takes to do this. One way that you can do this is to figure out how long it does to do a repeat block. We can reset the timer before that, create a simple variable. Here we can just call it like K or something, whatever. And we're going to set K to the timer. Now, okay, so now when we click this block while it's playing, it's going to tell us it takes 1.39 seconds. Okay, that's pretty precise. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to have it wait 0.14 seconds. So before it deletes itself, it's going to wait 0.14 seconds. And that is the same for this one here. And oops, let's not do that. We want to get rid of this. We want to get rid of the timer, and we also want to delete this K variable that we made. Okay, so we'll put that there. Now let's try it. When you click play, they both go away. This one did not delete itself though, so we're gonna have to have it delete itself after. There we go. Now we click the shop. Let's try it again. Shop. It disappears, but the play button does not disappear. And the reason why is because we have this play, but we also want to say when I receive shop. There we go. When I click this, when we click shop, they both disappear. I'm noticing that the shop button is just disappearing automatically while the play button is going off in an animated way. So, okay, so the reason why is because it needs to broadcast shop before it waits. Okay, there we go. Click shop, and they both go away. There we go. Perfect. Okay, this is looking pretty nice. Now, we have a message that is broadcasted when we click the shop, but it doesn't actually bring us to anything, so we'll do that in the next video. See you then. This video is a lot harder to make because of some things that happened, so if there was something that I didn't quite explain right, or something that was a little bit foggy, just ask me in the comments, and I'll see if I can clarify it for you. Thanks for watching, I hope you learned something, and please remember to subscribe. I'll see you next time.